If there's one health condition in babies that is both frustrating and weirdly controversial, it's colic. Most of the controversy comes in multiple forms, with many conventional pediatricians still, mistakenly stating that some babies just get colic. And don't worry, they'll grow out of it. And at the same time, there's all sorts of debate as to how babies get colic in the first place and what the real root causes are. So in this video, we'll break down the real science behind colic, keep it super simple, and get right to some safe and natural ways to help ease your little one's constant crying and discomfort. This video right here is for parents of babies who struggle with colic, desperate for answers and relief from the constant crying and the sleepless nights, and who also know that it's not normal that they're so uncomfortable and constantly crying, and also physically uncomfortable and constantly arching their back and cranking their neck as if they're trying to find some sort of relief. We're revealing how optimizing the vagus nerve and the overall neurologic function could resolve so many of your child's health struggles. You're going to learn gentle ways to stimulate this essential part of the nervous system. Plus, specialized chiropractic care can detect and address vagus nerve dysfunction without drugs or surgery. I want to read you this here. As a baby, Allie struggled with bad reflux, gas pains, and trouble sleeping at night. Mom said it was very difficult for us to try to navigate being first-time parents and having Allie struggle with these issues. It was hard to see Allie so upset and unhappy because she was just so uncomfortable. So they took action and brought Allie to their amazing holistic pediatrician who always looks to find the real root cause of a child's struggles and not just put a Band-Aid on the symptoms. So for Allie, they knew that the stress of a very fast labor and delivery was part of the root cause, so they referred to Live Better Chiropractic. And Mom said, we are so thankful to have a pediatrician who right away recommended chiropractic care once we brought up her concerns. And here's how it went. Mom said, Allie started getting adjusted when she was just 2 weeks old. And within the first couple weeks, we definitely started to see changes. We first noticed that she was no longer having the constant gas pains. She didn't seem to be uncomfortable anymore. And within the first month, her colic just seemed to disappear. And we started to see Allie's happy and silly personality then coming through. We continued with care. Mom said she was a completely different baby than she was when she started. Her colic and stomach pains were completely gone, her reflux better than ever, and she was even sleeping through the night. Now, as a toddler, Mom says she is truly the happiest and always smiling and laughing, and we cannot be more thankful to have found Live Better Chiropractic. They taught us so much about chiropractic care and the benefits it could also provide to Allie. Thank you for giving us our happy girl back. And we couldn't be happier that Allie is thriving and doing well. And thank you, Mom and Dad, for trusting your parent gut and getting the results for Allie. Let's dive into the science, but keep it really simple. Number one, the most overlooked yet quite obvious initial trigger to colic is an overstressed and over-subluxated nervous system. Now, most colic cases that we see here at Live Better Chiropractic have at least one of the two stressors hidden in absolute plain sight in their case history. Now, number one is a high stress or high risk pregnancy. And number two, birth interventions like forceps, vacuum extractions. You've got inductions, epidural, C-sections that can physically injure and alter the function of the nerves and muscles in the upper neck that control things like sleeping, like latching, breastfeeding, swallowing, digestion, and gross motor development like turning the head and tummy time and things like that. Now, these two very common initial stressors cause the infant's nervous system to go into what's called a highly sensitive and stuck in what's called a sympathetic or fight or flight mode. Now, this fight or flight or sympathetic dominance, or gas pedal as we call it, it interferes with things like sleep, it shuts down digestion, and really leaves them in a physically uncomfortable state. Now, once this subluxation and sympathetic dominance sets in for an infant, they struggle with the basic health functions like sleeping, like eating, pooping, and moving. And when their little ones are constantly crying and uncomfortable, parents initially know that something deep within their little bodies is not working well. And that includes both the internal muscles that control things like digestion and then the external muscles of the head, neck, and spine area, which is why infants more often than not struggle with things like eating and are constantly arching their neck and back backwards. But what about tongue and oral ties and dairy intolerances? Well, in today's world, by the time we get to assess and examine a colicky infant, many times their amazing moms and dads will have already removed dairy and other common foods that have a higher risk of allergies and those intolerances. And many families today have also already had their children's tongue and oral ties surgically removed or clipped. And while those tongue and oral ties absolutely cause infants to have trouble with latching and nursing and can be totally uncomfortable, it's important to continue to really look deeper into what the real root cause of these tongue ties even are. And while I may sound like a broken record, I don't mind it at all just when it comes to this. It's important to know that if a child's nervous system is stuck in what it's called a sympathetic fight or flight mode, it leaves all the muscles and the ligaments in the body extra tight, extra wound up, extra tense. So even if the tongue and the oral ties are surgically removed or fixed, that tension will remain in that nervous system and throughout the other important parts of their body. And while most everyone will look at the stomach and that digestive system as the root cause of colic, more often than not, it's found even deeper than that within the nervous system. It's the control and the coordination of things like that digestive mobility, that absorption, and that elimination of getting rid of those waste. And when that tension and subluxation builds up in that neurospinal system, a colicky baby will often arch their back and crank their neck trying to release or get rid of that tension all by themselves. And when this happens, it's almost a sure sign that the root cause of their discomfort is that neurospinal discomfort and tension, not just that digestive dysfunction. So at Live Better Chiropractic, our team is specifically trained to help identify those neurologic factors behind colic and gently restore your baby's nervous system balance and comfort. We use a combination of very thorough assessments and then advanced technology called neurologic insight scans to both detect and measure the presence of this subluxation and that neurologic dysfunction or sympathetic dominance in these colicky infants. So if you are ready to find real answers and drug-free solutions to your baby's colic, I invite you to click the link below or in our bio to visit our website and schedule an initial consultation. Let us help you and your little one find the peace, the comfort, and the restful sleep that you both desperately need. Don't spend another exhausting night wondering if there's hope. DM us if you have any questions. Our team, we're here and we're ready to help.